Hello dear friends, welcome to the lecture of linear algebra and we are studying vector spaces. In the last lecture we have studied the definition of linearly independent and linearly dependent vectors. In this lecture we will see some problems on these linearly dependent and independent vectors and some results on it. So I have written a few problems here. So first we shall solve these problems. The first problem is in V is equal to vector space. V is vector space is equal to R3, three-dimensional real numbers over the field of real numbers. Examine each of the following sets of vectors for linear dependence. That means we have to check whether these are linearly dependent or independent vectors. This is the first set and this is the second one. So we shall consider solution for the first. Solution of 1. See, here there are three vectors and we have the definition for linearly dependent vectors like this. If the set of vectors is v1, v2, vn and we have to consider its combination for taking scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n. And if this combination v alpha 1 plus v1, alpha 1 into v1 plus etc. alpha n vn is equal to 0 implies at least one alpha I is not 0, one alpha I is not equal to 0. Then these vectors are linearly dependent, and if the same implies, this implies each alpha I is equal to 0, I taking value 1 to n, I taking value 1 to n. If each scalar is 0, then the set v1 up to vn is, or then these vectors are linearly independent. So this is the definition we have studied, and thus for checking linearly dependent or independent we have to form this combination. These are n vectors and its linear combination is considered, but here this is v1, v2 and v3 in 3 dimension. 3 tuple is there or triplet is there, and thus v1, v2, v3 are the vectors in R3, and for that purpose we shall consider alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, 3 scalars in R3. In R, the field is R over the field of real numbers, that is R. So let alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 belongs to R such that alpha 1 v1, but what is v1? v1 is the first vector 1 2 0. So alpha 1 1 2 0 plus alpha 2, the second vector is 0 3 1 plus alpha 3, third vector is minus 1 0 1, and this is equal to 0. This is equal to 0, but 0 in 3 dimension, so it is R3. So and therefore 0 in 3 dimension is, we know, triplet 0. So thus this is the equation we have written: alpha 1 v1 plus alpha 2 v2 plus alpha 3 v3 is equal to 0. If there are 3 vectors, if 4 vectors are there, we have to extend it, alpha 4 etc. And now we have to find the values of alpha. Here 3 scalars are there, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, real numbers. And if at least one of them is not 0, at least one alpha is not 0, then the set is linearly dependent. And if each becomes 0, then the set is linearly independent. So that is to be remembered. And now we will simplify this to find the value of alpha. Now we know what is the scalar multiplication of this triplet that we have defined in examples earlier, taking n tuple. And this implies multiply by this means each component is multiplied by alpha 1. So 1 into alpha 1, that is alpha 1, comma 2 into alpha 1 and 0 into alpha 1, that is 0, plus similarly here that gets multiplied, each component gets multiplied by alpha 2. 0 into alpha 2 is 0, 3 alpha 2, and this is alpha 2. Check it. And again the next is plus minus alpha 3, 0 into alpha 3, 0, alpha 3. So this is the left side, and the right side is 0, 0, 0. And again we shall simplify the left side, that is, now how to add these triplets. For addition we have defined earlier, the component wise addition will be there. First component gets added to first component, and that means alpha 1 plus 0 minus alpha 3, that is alpha 1 minus alpha 3, and 2 alpha 1 plus 3 alpha 2, and it is 0, and the third is 0 plus alpha 2, that is alpha 2 plus alpha 3, and this is equal to 0, 0, 0. And again by equality of these two vectors, their component, when the two vectors are equal, we have defined that also. If first component is equal to first, second is equal to second, third is equal to third, and extended up to n. So here it is 3 dimension, and therefore this implies, so this implies, see, alpha 1 minus alpha 3 is equal to 0. Second, 2 alpha 1 plus 3 alpha 2 is equal to 0, and third is alpha 2 plus alpha 3 is equal to 0. Now we shall solve these equations to find the values of alpha 1, alpha 2 and alpha 3. Now these are simultaneous equations, and we can solve. So what the first gives alpha 1 is equal to alpha 3, and we can put that value in third, and that gives, you see, from 1 what is alpha 1 is equal to alpha 3, and from third alpha 2 is equal to alpha 2 is equal to negative alpha 3. See, alpha 2 is minus alpha 3. And what about alpha 1? From second we can see. From second, so this is our first equation we have written. See, from this one. Yes, we have written alpha 1 and alpha 2 in terms of alpha 3. And what about the second? If you see 2 alpha 1 plus 3 alpha 2, if we add these say first and third, what we shall get is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is equal to 0, and that is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is 0, means alpha 1 is negative of alpha 2, that is the right. And again, if you put this value of alpha 1 alpha 2 in second, so what the second gives, that is 2 alpha 1 means 2 alpha 3, alpha 1 is alpha 3, and plus, now what about this 3 times minus alpha 3, 3 times alpha 3, and that is equal to 0. Yes, see, from the second we will get this one. And what this implies, yes, we can write from 2, putting these in 2. Putting these into, what we shall get is alpha 1 is alpha 3, 2 alpha 3, and this is alpha 2 is negative minus 3 alpha 3 is equal to 0, and this gives minus alpha 3 is 0, or that is alpha 3 is 0. And because alpha 3 is 0, alpha 2 also becomes 0, alpha 1 also becomes 0. Thus alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2 is equal to alpha 3 is equal to 0. All the three scalars are 0. And what that implies? If all the three scalars are, each scalar is 0, then by definition the vectors are linearly independent. So hence the vectors in the given set are linearly independent. In the given set or the given vectors, these three vectors are linearly independent. So this completes the solution of the first problem. Now we consider the second. Again, for second we will have to consider this combination, because this is again for R3, three vectors are there. So it is not necessary that always three vectors will be on. 2 may be there, 4 may be there, and we have to check the dependence of linear independence of the vectors. So according to that we have to select the scalars. So here, because the three are there, let alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 belongs to R, and such that alpha 1 into first vector, the first vector is minus 1, 2, 1. The second is 3, 0, minus 1, and the third is minus 5, 4, 3. So these are the vectors, and the right side is 0. So we will have to simplify this. So what this implies? That is, as earlier, we will have to multiply scalar multiplication first and then addition. So that is, or I shall write directly, that is minus alpha 1 first component, then 3 alpha 2, and then minus 5 alpha 3. Next, 2 alpha 1 second component, 2 alpha 1 second component of each term, and this is 0, need not to write, and then that is 4 alpha 3 plus 4 alpha 3, and third component alpha 1 minus alpha 2, and this is alpha 1 minus alpha 2, and last is plus 3 alpha 3. This is equal to 0, 0, 0. So this implies, now see, each component is to be equal to 0. So the first equation is minus alpha 1 plus 3 alpha 2 minus 5 alpha 3 is equal to 0. The second is 2 alpha 1 plus 4 alpha 3, and that is equal to 0. And the last is alpha 1 minus alpha 2 and plus 3 alpha 3 is equal to 0. So again we shall solve these three simultaneous equations, algebraic equations, to get the value of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. Now we may see how to solve these equations. See, minus alpha 1 and here is plus alpha 1. So if you add it, then we will get the relation in alpha 2 and alpha 3. So 1 plus 3 we will do. So this is to be decided by observation. So elimination method we have to use, equate the coefficient and then add or subtract, then that term will eliminate. So therefore add 1 and 3. So 1 plus 3 implies this addition of first and the last. So this is 0. 3 alpha 2 we are adding, plus minus alpha 2 means 2 alpha 2. And this is minus 5 plus 3 means minus 2 alpha 3. Minus 2 alpha 3 is equal to 0. Or that implies we can divide by 2, alpha 2 minus alpha 3 is equal to 0. Or that means alpha 2 is equal to alpha 3. That is one relation we have obtained. This implies alpha 2 is equal to alpha 3. And what about the remaining? You see this one. So this value we can put in the second equation. So what the second equation will become, alpha 2 is equal to alpha 3, or we will put this value in again in the first equation, and therefore 1 implies so 1 implies putting this alpha 2 is alpha 3, and therefore this is alpha 3 minus alpha 1 plus 3 alpha 3 minus 5 alpha 3 is equal to 0, or that gives minus alpha 1 minus 2 alpha 3 is equal to 0, or which is same as alpha 1 plus 2 alpha 3 is equal to 0. Or now you see we have used 1 and 3 up till now, but what about the second equation? Second is the same as this one. 2 alpha 1 plus 4, multiply this by 2, we will get the second equation, and therefore the second equation is satisfied, also satisfied by this. The second equation is satisfied by this. Equation 2 is satisfied by this equation, and thus we can write alpha 1 also in terms of alpha 3. So what this gives alpha 1 is equal to, so I shall rub it, or I shall write here itself. So this gives alpha 1 is equal to minus 2 alpha 3, and thus we obtain the value of alpha 1 as minus 2 alpha 3, alpha 2 as alpha 3, and what about alpha 3? Alpha 3, there is no condition. So actually this type of equations will have infinitely many solutions, because there is no condition on alpha 3, and alpha 3 can be taken at our choice. So there are infinitely many non-zero solutions. So if we take alpha 3 is equal to 1, then if we take alpha 3 is equal to 1, then what about alpha 1? Alpha 1 is equal to minus 2 alpha 3. Alpha 1 is minus 2 alpha 3. Alpha 3 is 1, so alpha 1 is equal to minus 2. And what about alpha 2? Alpha 2 is equal to alpha 3 means alpha 2 is equal to 1 itself, alpha 3. And thus we have alpha 1 is equal to minus 2, alpha 2 is 1, and alpha 3 is 1. So these are the values of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3. You can check it easily whether these are satisfied or not. See, minus alpha 1, what is minus alpha 1? That is 2, and 3 alpha 2, that is 3, minus 2 alpha 2 is 1, so it is 2 plus 3 minus 5, that is 0, and similarly the remaining will also be satisfied. And thus what we get is the scalars alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and these scalars are non-zero. So if at least one of them is not 0, then the vectors becomes linearly dependent by definition. If one of, or at least one alpha is not 0, the vectors are linearly dependent, and thus here the vectors are linearly dependent because these are alpha values are not 0. Thus therefore at least one alpha is not 0. Alpha 1, at least one alpha at least one of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3 is non-zero. Condition is satisfied. This condition is satisfied. Here all are non-zero. So condition, what is the condition? At least one of them is not 0. So if you get only one value, alpha 3 is non-zero, and these two may be 0. So that is the meaning. Therefore, at least one of alpha 1, alpha 2 is not 0, and therefore the vectors, hence the vectors non-zero is satisfied. This condition is satisfied, and hence the vectors in the given set are linearly dependent. And this completes the solution for the second. Now this is the similar problem. Here f is field of real numbers, again field of real numbers, same, and prove that the vectors 1 1 0 0, 0 1 minus 1 0 and 0 0 0 3 in f4. f4, or that means it is same as r4, because these are real numbers, triplet of quadruple of real numbers, 4 components of real numbers, and in f4 are linearly independent. That we have to show, linearly independent over f. The problem is similar. You should solve yourself, try yourself. So for second problem, you try yourself. Now again there are 3 vectors. So what we have to consider is 3 scalars, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, and show this is equal to 0. Only the difference is in place of 3 components, here there are 4 components. So we will have the equation as alpha 1 1 1 0 0 plus alpha 2 0 1 minus 1 0 and plus alpha 3 is equal to 0 will be having 4 components. These are the 4 components, and so this will give the 4 equations, and that are easy to solve. So we will get the result as for linearly independent. This implies alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha 3, alpha 4, not alpha 4, only 3, alpha 3 are 0, and thus the vectors are linearly independent. So try yourself this problem. So thus we have solved some problems to check, or to know the procedure to check the given vectors are linearly dependent or independent. As many vectors are there, take the same number of scalars, form a linear combination and equate that to 0 and find out the scalars. If at least one is not 0, then the vectors are dependent, and if all are 0, the vectors becomes linearly independent. So in this way we can check the linearly dependent or independent vectors. Now we shall consider some results on this linearly dependent and independent vectors. Now that we will first write as a lemma, and this is our lemma number 4 in serial order. So I shall write the statement: if V1 up to Vn, this is a short notation, V1, V2 up to Vn are linearly independent, then their linear span has a unique expression or unique representation. Unique representation of this type, lambda 1 V1 plus so on up to lambda n Vn, with lambda I belongs to F. Means these lambda 1, lambda 2 are scalars. So it is assumed that V1, V2, Vn are linearly independent vectors in V. Then their linear span. What is a linear span? We have defined earlier. Linear span means the linear combination, all possible linear combination of these vectors, and their linear span has a unique representation of this or a vector in their linear span. We should write a vector in their linear span has unique representation. Then a vector in their linear span has a unique representation. A vector, fixed vector, has this unique representation with alpha I belongs to F. Now the proof for the lemma. It is a linear span means all possible linear combinations will be obtained in linear span, and in that a vector means again a linear combination. So what the lemma says that this expression is unique. A vector can be expressed uniquely like this. That means there does not exist any other scalars for the same vector. That we have to show. So here V1, V2, Vn are linearly independent, that is given, and we have to show this representation is unique. To show the uniqueness, we shall show that suppose there is two expressions for this vector, that is lambda 1 V1 plus so on up to, or you may write one more, that is lambda 2 V2 and plus so on up to lambda n Vn is equal to, and if I write this expression, the same vector in another scalars, mu1 V1 plus mu2 V2 plus so on up to mu n Vn. If when this will be unique, if we have lambda 1 is equal to mu1, lambda 2 is equal to mu2 and so on, lambda n is equal to mu n. So implies lambda I is equal to mu I taking value 1 to n, and lambda I mu I belongs to F. So these are scalars. The scalars in F, see alpha, here we have lambda I, with this lambda is used, and these lambda I and mu I, two expressions we have assumed here, and these two expressions will be unique if their corresponding scalars are equal. That we have to show. But you see, if this is the equality, now we can write, but if these are equal, but if lambda 1 V1 plus lambda 2 V2 and so on up to lambda n Vn is equal to mu1 V1 plus mu2 V2 and plus so on up to mu n Vn. So if this, then this will imply, then what we will have is we can write this vector on the left side, and that will be negative of it. So therefore this will be lambda 1 V1 minus mu1 V1 on left side. We take all these right side vectors on the left side, and these will be with negative sign, and then we take the corresponding vector common. So then this will imply lambda 1 minus mu1 into V1 plus lambda 2 minus mu2 into V2 and plus so on, lambda n minus mu n into Vn. So this is equal to 0, right side is 0. So thus this combination we will have, and now what we use is these V1, V2, Vn are linearly independent, And if these vectors are linearly independent, then each scalar in their combination must be equal to 0. Since v1 up to vn are linearly independent, this implies lambda 1 minus mu 1 is equal to 0, lambda 2 minus mu 2 is equal to 0, and so on. Lambda n minus mu n is equal to 0. And what this implies, each lambda I is equal to mu I. So lambda I is equal to mu I for I taking value 1 to n. So this implies, or that is, lambda I is equal to mu I taking value for each I taking value up to 1 to n, and thus this shows uniqueness. So we have shown this expression is same as this expression. That means a vector in their linear combination has unique expression. So this result we have shown. And now we shall consider a theorem. So but we will consider that theorem. We shall prove that theorem in our next lecture, and we will continue the results on linearly dependent and independent vectors in our next lecture. Thank you.